are coming to you from Fenway Park in Boston, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. It's Jose Abreu, Alexei Ramirez at a meeting in the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Dustin Pedroia and the defending world champion Boston Red Sox. Hi, everybody, and welcome. With Steve Stone, I'm Ken Harrelson as we get set to bring you the finale of this four-game set. As you know, we won the first two. We won the opener 4-0. Scott Carroll was just magnificent. We won Game 2 8-3. Johnny Danks picked up the win in that one. Then last night, with 2 out in the 8th inning, we had a 4-0 lead. We lost that ball game 5-4 and 9. But it's getting close to that All-Star time now, and we have for sure at least 2 guys going.
We're probably going to have 3, but let's concentrate on 2 to start with. And Jose Abreu certainly deserves it. He's hit 28 home runs. He's driven in 70. And last night, his first look at Ruby De La Rosa wound up in the center field seats. 8 times Jose has hit first-inning home runs, and he's been magnificent. Now, Alexei Ramirez's batting average is starting to fall to the 270s. But that being said, he's got robbed a couple times in this series. That's an infield hit he had. And Gomes makes a phenomenal play on him, robbing him here. So Alexei's starting to hit the baseball, but he's going to Minneapolis. He deserves to be in the All-Star game. He's going to be there, and hopefully Chris Sale is going to be our third.
Well, on the bump today, a couple of other good left-handers.
They got a couple of guys that have been red hot in recent starts, and it's Jose Quintana and John Lester. Take a look at Jose. Over the last 4, he's 2-0, his ERA below 1. Opponent's batting average 188, so he's doing everything right, getting everything over the plate. Conversely, John Lester on the other side over his last 5 is 3-0, the ERA below 1, and the opponent's batting average 193. So Lester is awfully tough. He's been the best Red Sox pitcher. He was one of their best last year. He's by far their best this year. It's going to be a tough test.
Well, our Sox looking to take 3 out of 4 from their Sox, so sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way.
Powered by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. AT&T Uverse. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com.
Welcome back to beautiful Fenway Park. And it's a gorgeous day for baseball. The 4th and final game of this series. The last time we will see the Red Sox this year. And the Red Sox really scuffling. The question for them is just how many of the players do they unload? And they have some other questions, and we'll get to them as this game moves along. The Red Sox coming in last place, 9.5 games in back of Baltimore. Our Sox, 44 and 48, 8.5 games in back of Detroit, but 11 back in the loss column. So let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox for the game this afternoon. Adam Eaton leading it off, and then Gordon Beckham in the 2 spot. Jose Abreu at first base, hitting third. Dan Viciato in the cleanup spot. Alexei Ramirez. Paul Konerko, who's been very good in this ballpark over the course of his career, and this probably will be the last time that he'll hit here. Moises Sierra, Tyler Flowers, and Leury Garcia rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind John Lester. It's Johnny Gomes, Jackie Bradley Jr., who's played a magnificent center field in this series, along with Mookie Betts in right. Then Brock Holt, Stephen Drew, Dustin Pedroia, and Mike Napoli in the infield, with David Ross behind the plate. And our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is John Lester. He's 9-7 this year. This is 19th start. His ERA a terrific 2.73. This is a guy that is 109-63 lifetime, and he's been a mainstay here for the 7.5 years he's been in the major leagues. So with 29 walks and 122 strikeouts, he is really tough. However, against our Sox, he's had some problems, some surprising problems. He's 5-5 lifetime with an ERA of 4.93. That's a whole lot higher than he's used to, and a whole lot higher than he has against most every team. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Marvin Hudson behind the plate, Corey Blazer is at first, the crew chief Jim Joyce is at second, and Doug Eddings is at third. So Robin has to like the first 2 games of the series. Last night was a little tough, having a 4-0 lead behind Chris Sale, only to see the bullpen let it slip away. That was a tough one last night, but as so often happens in this game, you have a game the next day. You got to forget about yesterday, take care of today, and all things will then take care of themselves. So they're throwing the ball around the infield, which means we're ready to play baseball. I'm ready to turn it over to my play-by-play partner, Ken Harrelson.
Hi, Stevie. Thank you. And once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet. So happy you could join us for the finale of this 4-game set and the 4th of the 7-game road trip. We'll finish it off starting tomorrow with 3 in Cleveland, and that's just before the All-Star break. Also, before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. As a big guy, and he's a big man. They got him listed as 6'4", 240, but you stand close to him, and he has some shoulders on him. They are wide. And the first pitch of the ball game. Adam comes in at 265, a homer. He's driven in 24. 2 for 12 in this series. Outfield slightly to the left. And the Sox with a 250 team average, 4.16 team ERA. Sox 20-27 on the road, 24-21 at home. And this is the 7th and final meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 6, they have split them. That's another souvenir left side, and here at Fenway, 310 down the left field line, 301 down the right field line, 380 out there in right field, 420 in deep right center, and 379 in deep left center. That's in the hole, and that's a base hit. So a good way to start it.
Good battling at bat for Adam Eaton. He gets a fastball. It's out away. And Lester throws it 95-96. But he stayed right with it. Took it right by Stephen Drew.
So here's Beckham. Gordon at 240, 7 long ones and 25 knocked in. 1 for 13 with an RBI in this series. That was an RBI double. Lifetime against Lester. He's 2 for 12 with a homer.
Lester's only given up 8 home runs in 122 innings. So that's somewhat surprising, but it's a very small number That shows you just how good he's been this year. He's been by far and away the ace of a very beleaguered staff. Although John Lackey has the same amount of wins and a lower, well, not a lower, but a good ERA. Lester's the man here.
One and one to count to Beckham. And that's foul back. Well, last year, everything that could go right went right. This year, everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Yeah, they went out. Ben Cherington did a terrific job putting a good team together. John Farrell in his second year. Very good manager. He had just an enchanted year last year, and you're right. I mean, Buchholz went 12-1. Lester had a huge season last year.
Good check.
They made 7 acquisitions, 7 free agent acquisitions, and they all worked. Ben Cherington hit on each and every one of them. This year, a completely different story. And that's what happens in baseball. You try to assemble the best baseball team you can, and sometimes the moves work, and sometimes the same moves don't.
So he goes through that one, and that's out number 1. So with 1 out, let's check out our picks to click. Joe, our director and recruit, went with Sierra. Steve's going with Tank. And Mike Mazza, Kenny Wes, Pete Catazone, Nick. Everybody back home. We're going to go with Paul Konerko. Abreu, 6 for 12 with a homer in the series. He comes in at 284, 28 homers, and 70 knocked in.
He's tied with 28 home runs with Nelson Cruz for the major league lead. 70 runs driven in. What a year it's been. And surprisingly, with the count 1-1, Jackie Bradley has shifted a couple of steps. He's just a couple of steps toward right center field. Early in the count, he was a couple of steps toward left center field.
And if you missed that game last night, here's that home run.
First look at Ruby De La Rosa. Winds up rather easily in the center field seats.
And it looked like it was going to be a semi pop-up to center, or at longest just a fly ball, and it just didn't come down. We talked about it, in fact, at length last evening, and we've talked about it at length this year, just how the carry on his, when he hits it, it's just unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it.
No, Jackie Bradley gets a terrific jump. We saw it last night. He's a great center fielder, and at first he went back as if he was going to make that catch, and all of a sudden turned his back and realized he's got no chance, and then realized it's not going to stay in the park.
Well, we've seen that quite a bit this year. We've seen it quite a bit. He did not go. That outfielders will make late turns.
They can't believe the ball is not going to come down either.
And then we've seen the opposite of that. When the ball got out of here so fast, they didn't even have a chance to move. Like in Oakland, that home run he hit on May 14th. There he goes, and that pitch is fouled away. I got a piece of David Ross.
When the catcher gets up, because he's going to have to make a throw, as he's getting up, he really exposes a lot of his body. That one got him off, it looked like, the left thumb. And occasionally you can get a bit of a hyperextension. Catchers are a tough breed, though, and Ross, after a minute to shake it off, is going back behind the plate.
Yeah, you have to. It's a mindset. Does it hurt? You better believe it hurts. But it's gone. Poof. Hell, that ball's hit hard. But one hops the wall. Now they're going to wave. Here he comes. So Adam is going to score, and it's 1-0 on the double, and the 71st RBI by Abreu.
This one got over the head of Johnny Gomes like a rocket. It's a slider. By the time Gomes does go up, that ball is actually over his head, and Adam Eaton reading it all the way. As soon as he sees it just clear the glove, he takes off, and there's no chance to get him at the plate.
So here's Tank hitting at .248, 11 homers and 34 knocked in. Most strong guys you see, the vast majority, when they hit balls like that, they're like humpback line drives. His is not.
No, I think Gomes was hoping it was a humpback line drive, but just kept accelerating over his head.
Tank goes through it. Alexei on deck. Yeah, Abreu's just caused a really. I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I went to the Cheesecake Factory to have lunch. And the waiter I had, I think his name was Brian, said, "Is this guy that you guys got Abreu?" Because he saw my White Sox World Series ring. Is he for real? I mean, everybody's asking about it. Everybody. As he nails the aces. Tank 2 down.
Taking a look at Jose's double. Not a sinking line drive at all. And the thing with Abreu is, unlike some hitters who really make their livings against many number threes, a lot of the fours, and most of the five as far as the starting rotation, Jose does a whole lot of his damage against number ones and twos.
Well, if you think about it, now just think what I'm going to say, and then it appears that he hits the better pitchers better than he hits the fours and fives.
I think he probably gets psyched up for guys who are really good, and obviously he talks to all of his friends on the team. He talks to Todd Steverson. What about this guy? Well, this guy's the number one on their team or the number two on their team. I think it's a challenge to him. I think he wants to face the best.
There's a little looper. And nice catch right there by Drew. Snow cone, but he held on to it, and that saves the run. But the double by Abreu. Go to the bottom of the first. We lead it 1-0.
Brock Holt leading it off. Dustin Pedroia in the 2 spot with David Ortiz, Mike Napoli, who's reached base in 17 straight games. Johnny Gomes, Mookie Betts, Stephen Drew, David Ross, and Jackie Bradley Jr. rounded out. The defense and how they'll line up behind Jose Quintana, who already has a 1-0 lead. Viciedo, Eaton, and Sierra in the outfield, with Leury Garcia, Alexei Ramirez, Gordon Beckham, and Jose Abreu in the infield. Tyler Flowers behind the plate, and our Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is Jose Quintana. Last 4 starts, his ERA under 1. He's looking for his 6th win of the year. Overall, his ERA is .320, 100 strikeouts in 112 1/3 with only 32 walks. He's been very good. He's going to have to be today because his mound opponent is very good.
So here's one of the heroes last night, knocking in the winning run in the bottom of the 9th inning. You know, that was a tough loss last night, but that's baseball. That really didn't bother me that much. What bothers me is when we make mental mistakes or play bad fundamental baseball and beat ourselves. That's going to happen occasionally, but it just seems like it happens certainly to Chris Sale and Quintana more than anybody else. How many times has Chris had a 3 or 4 run lead?
I was going to say, for Chris Sale, that was a tough one to swallow.
Sure it was. That ball lined into left. We got a man there. Boy, he's a good-looking player. If you missed the series, Holt played the first 2 games in right field. He started last night at shortstop, and today he's at third.
He also had the winning hit last night. It was the first time where he faced a right-hander all night long. He faced Javi Guerra, lined a base hit into right field, and that was it. Won the game.
Pedroia 3 for 13 in the series with a couple of RBIs.
He had thumb surgery in the offseason, and the Red Sox were certainly hoping that he would come back and regain that MVP form. And he's doing okay. He's hitting .282, but the power numbers down a bit, as are the runs batted in.
He gone. 2 down. Well, we've mentioned it a lot of times that when you have surgery on your hand, your thumb, your fingers, it usually takes a year before you get your full strength back.
He's still a good one, and they've got him for 7 more. He signed an extension. He will be a Red Sox most likely his entire career. One never knows these days, however.
Well, he's got a better chance because people are not moving money around as much as they used to.
Well, the clubs have it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They don't have to dump salary near his office. And Pedroia is one of the most popular guys on this team.
Ortiz hitting at .259, 19 homers, 56 driven in. 2 for 11 in this series. .38-year-old veteran David Ortiz. Red Sox hitting at .243 as a team with a 3.90 ERA. They are 22 and 26 here at home. You don't see that very often, especially when you're talking about July. That's high as a can of corn. And that'll retire the side. After one, it is 1-0 Good Guys. Park on Monday, July 21st. First 1,000 fans to purchase tickets will receive a White Sox ugly Christmas t-shirt. Also, there will be snow cone carts with red and green snow cones for the kids. The tickets start at $15 for lower level seats. So to purchase, visit whitesox.com/Xmas. Canerco, Sierra, and Flowers here in the top of the second inning. 1-2-0 for us. No runs, no hits, no errors for them. Paulie, he's had good success against Lester. 10 for 28. And of the 10 hits, 7 of them stayed in the park. Low strike called.
Ball a little surprised at that call from Marvin Hudson. But I assume the zone's going to be a little bit wider than normal on this getaway day.
You know, all the years I've been coming here, as a visitor and as a player, I never recall a 4 o'clock start.
It's really amazing, and it's getaway day for the Red Sox also. But you figure 1 o'clock game might be in order. But no. 2 good off-speed breaking balls, and he had Paul well out in front of it. Back-to-back slow hooks, and have a seat as the Red Sox will travel to Houston. So that's a fairly lengthy flight. However, they will gain an hour. They play 3 before the break.
So here's Moises. Moises at 202, a couple homers, 7 knocked in. One out, 1-1 to count. Two other games in action. One of them top of the 12th at the Great American Ballpark. Cubs and Reds are tied at 4. Oakland leading the Giants 1-0. Top of the 3rd at AT&T. Phillies leading Milwaukee 2-1 at Miller Park. Attaboy, Moises. Moises nursing somewhat of a sore left hamstring.
We saw it yesterday where he grabbed his hamstring after running the bases a bit, but he's still getting around pretty well. He's really done a nice job. I mean, he's come over here after being let go by Toronto, and he's done just about everything right. He throws unbelievably well.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a chance to be a heck of a player.
He's hitting .263 since he put on a White Sox uniform, and with his other skills, that's pretty good.
His ceiling is very high.
And you would love to be able to score a couple of runs before, as you see the shadows there, those shadows are going to creep across home plate. And when they do, it's going to be a whole lot tougher to hit than it is right now. That's why getting that run in the first inning was so big, because as we move along another 10 minutes or so, 12 minutes, big advantage.
There he goes. Boss. He's safe. That's his first steal in a Sox uniform. But he's got a chance to be a heck of a player. Power, speed, good outfielder, and a great arm.
Had this throw been on the first base side of second, they probably get it. David Ross gets rid of the ball pretty quickly. He's got a very strong arm, but a lot of catching coaches and a lot of good managers who have caught will tell you there are no outs on the third base side of second.
One and two to count to Tyler. Tyler, as I mentioned, 1 for 10 in this series. Nice gap out there in left center if he can find it. Yeah, that slow breaking ball. Sox took the opener 4-0. Won game 2 8-3, and then last night had that 4-0 lead with 2 out at the bottom of the 8th inning. We lost it 5-4 in the bottom of the 9th. Two and two. Two down. 4 strikeouts now for Lester.
Menard's pitch tracks will show you that ball biting down and in, that's his cutter. And it's a good one. That's a big run to pick up out at second base as those shadows creep ever closer to home plate. Be nice to have a 2-0 lead against one of the league's best left-handers.
Softly hit. A little too hopper down to Holt. Throws him out. And we'll go to the bottom of the second, leading 1-0.
Rock, Michael Brantley, and the Tribe. White Sox Indians tomorrow at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet Plus.
Napoli, Gomes, and Betts, the first three. Napoli hitting at .270, 10 homers, 34 knocked in. He's 3 for 9 in this series. First pitch strike.
We saw the Red Sox fine catching prospect Christian Vasquez. Saw him in the ballgame last night. He looked very good, good receiver, and he's taught by one of the best, Yadier Molina and the Molina brothers. Well, unfortunately for St. Louis, just as they're making a move, Yadier Molina lost 8 to 12 weeks with a thumb injury. He's going to have surgery, and for the Cardinals, that is a terrible, terrible break.
There's the strike. Well, it was not a head first slide, but it was done on a base.
It's somewhat surprising you could actually do that on a feet first slide. He did.
Yeah, he feet first, popped off the bag, tried to grab it, and that's when he tore it. There's about a 53-footer. Out in front. Outfield for the most part straight up. The Uri is back, well back, and off the line. He gone.
We'll take a look at our Menards pitch tracks once again. And that ball has the bottom part of the zone, almost the entire plate. And so Napoli didn't like it, but it was a good call by Marvin Hudson. Second strikeout for Quintana.
That's been a well umpired series.
They've done a nice job, and they've done a nice job on the bases as well as behind the plate. Very few guys have argued about anything, and they've established the strike zone and stayed with that same zone.
Well, we had a nice umpired series with Seattle. We've been getting some good jobs from the umpires, but they say the ejections are up, so hard to believe. We haven't seen much of that. We have seen just the opposite, as a matter of fact.
Gomes, as you can see, has terrorized left-handers this year.
Johnny hitting at .243, 5 homers, 30 knocked in, 3 for 6 with an RBI in this series.
He would most likely be fairly desirable for a team needing a right-hand hitter that's in contention.
That ball into right field. Got glasses on. That right field today is going to be very difficult to manage. You got to try to get an angle. Toughest right field in baseball to play. First pitch strike to Mookie Betts. Good looking young 24-year-old. Check the 21-year-old.
This could be the last time we see him, and I have a feeling that the more you see him, the better you like him. Because there's not much that he can't do, and he's a second baseman by trade, but with 7 more years on Pedroia's contract, you learn to play other positions, and he can play center and right.
Well, Bradley's a good-looking young player too.
He's a terrific
24-year-old.
Terrific looking young player.
And we certainly liked what we saw of Vasquez. When you don't notice a catcher, you know he's pretty good.
That Bogarts.
He gone. 1, 2, 3 inning. He now has 3 strikeouts. All Friday home games feature trivia in the Miller Lite Bullpen Sports Bar. Also a post-game fireworks show set to your favorite music and post-game karaoke at Shy Sox Bar and Grill. So visit WhiteSox.com/Fridays for more details. I love karaoke.
That's old karaoke.
Very old karaoke. Really old, as that's lined hard into left field. Get over his head. Well, he stays with it, backing up. So that's a hang with him. Adam now 1 for 2. He singled to start off the ball game and came around to score. Gordon struck out his first trip. Outfield straight up, spread out. They're about equidistant. Checks it up, lays off that curveball.
He's got both the slow curveball and he's got a hard slider. It's tough to corral both in the same appearance, but he's able to do it. And he does it real well. He's 46 games over 500 lifetime. Just a remarkable 109 and 63.
One of the remarkable things about it, too, is he has not been a left-hander that pitched inside that much.
No, in fact, they've had to get him to pitch inside, and I think that's where
beg him to pitch
I think
inside.
that's where the cutter or the slider really helped him out, because where he might be hesitant to go inside with that fastball, although he shouldn't be because left-handers in this ballpark that pitched inside have had success. But now he can throw that cutter inside off the plate, and he does pretty well with it. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Red Sox do have a dilemma, however, and that dilemma revolves around John Lester. He's going to be a free agent after this year. And the first contract they offered him, they expected a hometown discount, and it wasn't a real good contract for his ability level at this point. They offered him $70 million for 5 years, which obviously is a nice contract. But that being said, when you see Homer Bailey get 105, and he hasn't done near what Lester has done, and he knows that you go on the open market, there's 29 other teams that would be very interested in a left-hander the quality of John Lester.
Abreu with that RBI double in the first. Hit just a low line drive over the head of Johnny Gomes. Way out in front. 1-2-3 inning, another strikeout. 6 strikeouts now for Lester.
Chicago fan photo for a chance to have it shown on our broadcast later in the game, and that's brought to you by AT&T.
It'll be Drew, Ross, and Bradley. Steven hitting 131, a couple of homers. He's driven in 5. First pitch strike. Well, they got a break right there and the count of 1-2. Here you go.
Stephen Drew has really struggled. And Jose has gotten a whole lot of mileage out of that high fastball when he gets ahead of especially left-hand hitters. He'll throw it up in their eyes. Tyler called for it. He threw it right to the glove. And Drew, who was hitting 130, swung through it.
So here's the catcher, David Ross, hitting at 176, 5 homers. He's driven in 8. He takes first pitch strike.
Ross has got some power. He's not going to hit for a high average, but he can occasionally put a charge into one. Ross is trying to recover from 2 concussions. Normally, he's one of the best backup catchers in all of baseball. And when Vasquez came up, John Farrell said that there was a very good chance that David Ross will play 2 or 3 games a week. Vasquez will play 4 games, depending on the week. And he wants to see what Vasquez can do.
And Ross was one of AJ's closest friends on the club. AJ said he's one heck of a guy.
Well, unfortunately, that happens to a lot of these catchers, especially now more than ever, for whatever reason I don't know. But they start getting multiple concussions, and it takes a whole lot away from them. It's taking some guys out from behind the plate.
And a little pop up. Gordon. 2 down. That'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr. Hitting at 217, a homer. He's driven in 24. Boy, what a catch he made last night. Wow.
Moving to his left, a flat out dive, taking one away from Tyler Flowers, who could ill afford to lose any hits. This could have made a huge difference, and Bradley's been doing remarkable things this entire series defensively.
I love the way he goes back on the ball. When you get a center fielder that can go back on the ball, that is a luxury, because that means he can play shallow work.
I was going to say, the best in the business, the great center fielders, have always played a more shallow center because they were never worried about going back to either side. Guys who aren't quite as talented, they'll play a whole lot deeper because they know they can come in much better than they can go back, and they'll live with the single and not with the double.
And that's softly into left field. We got a man there. So that is 9 up, 9 down for Quintana. Ultimate all-inclusive White Sox experience in the home plate club or Magellan Scout seats. Now, these two premium seating areas are the best way to entertain your most important clients, your employees, your friends, or your family. So for more information, call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesOx.com/premium seating. Tank takes first pitch strike. And struck out. Called out back in the first inning. Good guys on top, 1-0. 1-3-0 for us. No runs, no hits, no errors for them. Back to our left. Way out in front, off balance.
Lester's getting a lot of mileage out of this slow breaking ball. When you throw 95 and then you see this, it's hard to wait back long enough. 18 miles an hour difference between that slow curveball and his fastball.
Thing that's not talked about too often about this Boston club that I've heard is they've lost 19 one-run ball games.
Well, it's usually the sign of a couple of different things. It's not the tail end of their bullpen because Tazara and Uhura are both very good, but defensively they're not the best. And all the things that went right last year are going wrong this year. And that's indicative of it.
That's fair ball down into the corner. So Alexei will make the turn and he will go into second base and pick up his 15th two-bagger.
This ball hits off the bag after Holt made a dive for it. Alexei takes it right down the line. It's a cutter inside. Holt's not going to make the play, but that ensures he's not going to make the play.
And we have some terrific news, and we want to thank each and everyone out there. And I think by that statement, you know where I'm coming from. Chris Sale is going to Target Field in Minneapolis.
And congratulations to Chris Sale. He certainly deserves it. And what a first part of the year he's had.
And I want to thank some other people too, because you know the White Sox nation has been terrific in getting that extra man in with Paulie and also with AJ earlier. But I want to thank Brooks Boyer, Bob Grimm, Scott Reifert. I tell you, Bob Beckton, the whole crew, they worked their arse off to get Chris Sale into the All-Star game.
I love the videos they made. I mean, they're just terrific. They were outstanding.
Yeah, they were. I love that one with Tyler Flowers. That was really. They all were well done, but that one I really loved.
Third straight All-Star selection, 8-1 this year, ERA of 2.08 in 14 starts, and he is the third White Sox All-Star, and well deserved for Chris Sale. He's as good as it gets, folks.
Well, to me, he's the best pitcher on their staff, on the All-Star staff. Meanwhile, that is out number 2. All right, now let's go down to Dan Hayes.
Yeah, thanks, Hawk. As you guys alluded to, Chris Sale made the All-Star team. It's actually a Chicago sweep, as the Cubs' Anthony Rizzo also was determined the winner of the NL's final vote contest. Like you guys said, this is Chris Sale's third appearance, and while he's done a pretty good job of playing it cool this week, last night he even said he was he'd be antsy in this last hour the voting had finished. So, as you can tell, even though it is his third All-Star game, he knows how special of an experience this is, and I know you guys both know that being an All-Star is a big deal. So even though Chris Sale could have taken the 4 days off and gotten some time with his family, you can tell he's going to be an excited guy.
And to you also and your cohorts, Dan, you guys were just as anxious and wanting and willing and able to wish him into that All-Star game as everybody else.
Yeah, no, I think this is kind of a righting a wrong. I mean, I think everybody, you saw a lot of support this week, just people thinking that Chris Sale deserved to be in there. They were stunned that he wasn't on the All-Star team. 8-1, 2.08 ERA, 105 strikeouts in 97 innings. I mean, he deserved to be there, and this is a good thing for him.
Nice going, buddy. Dan Hayes from CSNChicago.com. Right here, 0-1 to count to Moises, who singled sharply and then picked up his first stolen base in the Sox uniform. That was in the second inning. So a nice surprise today. Boy, they had. I asked Scott Reifert about what happened last night. You know, they had events at all the Hooters and all the Beggars Pizza, and Scott said they were well attended and very enthusiastic. I want to thank all our sponsors and fans who were involved in helping get Chris to the All-Star game. Gap out there in left center. Now let's win this one and have a nice trip down to Cleveland. Big hack, full count. And if you're just tuning in, Lester has not been bashful about throwing that slow curveball in any count.
Well, he's getting a lot of mileage out of that today.
Well, he already has 7 strikeouts. Top of the fourth inning. And there it was. 8 strikeouts, but we lead at 1-0.
– 2014 featuring Journey and the Steve Miller Band with special guest Tower of Power. It's Saturday night at First Midwest Bank Amphitheater in Tinley Park. Tickets on sale now at livenation.com.
right, Jose, you got your 1 run, so hold them right there, buddy. It's 1-0. Bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be the top of the order. Holt, Pedroia, and Ortiz to face our 25-year-old southpaw.
Last 4 games, his ERA has been under 1. He's pitched 3 innings. He's faced 9 men. He's got 4 strikeouts. So you can't do much better than that through 3.
Holt went out to Viciedo in left field. Takes first pitch, breaking ball, strike. Threw that one right by him. Holt, the rookie, he's got some pop. He has 2 home runs here, but he's hit some in the minor leagues. Hitting .311 coming into the day. 17 doubles, 3 triples. 6 for 7 in stolen bases. And is an all-purpose player. Well, carrying 12 and 13 pitches, this has gotten to the point now. You have got to have one guy who's an all-purpose player. That position has come into prominence.
Look how long Nick Punto has spent in the major leagues, because he can play anywhere. He can execute offensively, he can bunt for you, you can hit and run if you want. You can do a lot of things. Not a great player, doesn't have to be. On a good team, he's a very valuable player, because there's really no place you can't put him.
One other thing that goes along with most all-purpose players. Yes, he did. He did not sit at third base, Doug Eddings. But one thing that with almost all the all-purpose players, they all have that TWTW, the will to win. They're competitors. They bring a lot of energy.
They really have to.
They have to.
They're not going to play every day, and
That's
so
right.
when you do play, you got to make the most out of it. You got to bring a lot of gloves to the ballpark, because you can't secure one position.
You very seldom see one of those guys that does not have a ton of energy. He gone.
Last 7 games, the starting pitchers have been close to unhittable. Starting pitchers 4-0. Probably should have been 5-0 with Chris Sale last night. ERA 1.24, 6 quality starts. Opponents hitting just 189. So the starting pitching has really started to come alive. And certainly a big factor in that is Jose Quintana, who's been brilliant. So Robin knows that he can rely on the starter on any given day. Now the bullpen just has to pick it up a touch. And the ball club could be in line for a fairly substantial winning streak.
Well, we're not out of many ball games. In fact, that last road trip we went on, if we'd had just decent work out of the bullpen, we could have come home 8-3. Meanwhile, we came home 5-6. There's a strike. Check that, 4-7. 4-7, yeah. But we could have come. I'll tell you that was the first game in Toronto was the only game in that whole road trip that we were out.
J-Amp was just terrific.
Yeah, he was.
Hitters didn't hit.
And some people were saying, well, if that Baltimore game hadn't gone so long and we didn't get into 5 o'clock in the morning and everything else, but that's beside the point. It wouldn't have made it if we'd all had 12 hours sleep with half that night.
Nope.
One-two pitch. That's in the left field. We got a man there. That's a hang with him for Pedroia, and that'll bring up Ortiz. One thing about our team that I love, besides one of the things, is they will not quit. They do not give up. Ortiz went out to center field. Takes low ball 1. Yes, he did. They didn't call it. 2-0. That ball hit hard in the deep right center field. Yes, 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 yes. Another tremendous catch by Adam Eaton. Mercy. Wow. And we still lead it 1-0. On the Plaza presented by Pepsi on Saturday, July 19th. Noche Tropical. All ages before the game at Gate 5. So specially priced tickets called 866 Sox Game or visit whitesox.com/Tropical. One hopper. One pitch, one out.
As good as John Lester has been during the regular season, he's saved his best for the World Series. He's been in 2 of them, 2007, 2013. And in the World Series combined, he's 3-0. But this is scary. 0.43 earned run average in the World Series. So he is absolutely at his best on the biggest stage. And last year he won 2 ball games in the World Series, helping his club win.
Leary. He also grounded out to Holt at third. And a count 0-2. And just checking some of the notes here on the release of the Windy City sweep. The final vote. Sponsored by Experian, as that's out in front. They received, for the final 6 hours today, they were receiving an average of 65,000 votes per minute.
That's pretty impressive.
Per minute. For Sale, 6.7 million votes as he gets him. So 2 down.
Here is our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it doesn't get much better than this. David Ortiz has hit 3 balls almost as far as you could hit him in that triangle area, and this time Adam Eaton goes back. He avoids the collision with Sierra, and Big Papi goes, "Hey, are you leaving town today? Because if you're leaving town, I get to be able to get some hits again."
Big Papi, he has fun. 2 guys that would have laughed at that and did what he did right there was Big Papi and Miguel Cabrera.
Well, Big Papi has crushed the ball in this series, and he doesn't have much to show for it.
Yeah. Saw a highlight last week, I believe, was somebody made a great catch on Big Papi, and he was giving them a standing ovation as they came in. Adam has singled sharply, scored. That was in the first inning. He also lined out hard to Johnny Gomes and left. There were a total of 52.5 million votes cast for that final spot. There's a shot. So he's 2 for 3. Good speed aboard. He is 8 for 14 in stolen bases. Picked up another base hit off a good left hand. And for all our administrative staff, interns, everybody who worked so hard, a big thank you and well done in helping get Chris to Minneapolis. One on, 2 out. Gordon has struck out twice. Just on the outside edge of the outside corner. Having trouble picking up that ball off that tough left-hander. Meanwhile, we're halfway home. We lead at 1-0. And it's a tribute to our fans, having that record of 4 final vote entries into the All-Star game. Pasednik, AJ, Konerko, and now Chris Sale. So here's Napoli. Called out on a fastball strike. Yeah, that's a pretty good pitch right there. Didn't get it. But that's a tribute to White Sox fans. When they want to get something done, they do it. One and one to count.
Ten strikeouts for Lester through 5. 5 strikeouts through 4 for Quintana. Visibility just ideal for a pitcher. Not so much for the hitters, as you see Jose pretty much in the shadows of the light standard.
Well, it's going to get worse than it is right now.
As long as we keep the lead, that's not a bad thing.
No. 2-2. He gone. He knew it.
Jose has been perfect through 4 1/3. He's getting the curveball over. He's gotten some called third strikes on fastballs. He's thrown it by some hitters upstairs. And overall, 6 strikeouts. 4 1/3 innings of perfect baseball.
And you see that black tarp out there in center field. That's Conigliero's corner. Now, for the first 3 games, the night games, that was not there. But during day games, they put that up there so the hitters will have. That's high into left field. Tank surrounding it. He's there. Makes the catch for out number 2. He just missed it. Goes dangerous at that bat.
That was a perfect hitter's pitch, and Gomes didn't get it squarely. He's retired, as has everybody else been retired.
And Mookie Betts struck out, called out. But in day games, when that tarp used to not be there, it was murder. Especially if you had a left-hander going. And of course, Tony Conigliero, for you youngsters out there, was a tremendous player. A young player. In fact, he led the American League in home runs when he was 20 years old. He was a right fielder for the Red Sox, and he got hit with a pitch that didn't immediately, but virtually ended his career. Right in the left eye. Two and one. Gordon's got it. So that is another 1-2-3 inning, and we have finished 5. We lead at 1-0.
Come see the White Sox take on Houston at 6:10. All fans are invited to stay for a post-game fireworks show presented by Northern Illinois University. Northern Illinois University, learning today, leading tomorrow. Purchase your tickets today by visiting WhiteSox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME. It'll be Abreu, Viciedo, and Ramirez here in the top of the 6th inning. It's a 1-0 game. Jose Quintana has been perfect through 5. Lester has 10 strikeouts through 5. But the Sox have touched him for 5 hits. Abreu with an RBI double in the first inning, and that is a sum total of all the scoring today as the outfield plays straight away and very deep. And that line drive to right field is going to fall. So Jose is 2 for 3. And a promising way to start the 6th inning. Regardless of visibility, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's sunshine, whether it's shadows, Abreu is just a terrific hitter. And if you make a mistake in the zone, he will make you pay. And now, Dan Viciedo steps up, and he's 0 for 2. He was caught looking in the first inning, and he swung through a fastball in the 4th inning, so he's fanned twice. 2 of the 10 by John Lester.
I was just talking with a Boston guy, and he said that they have had some weekday 4 o'clock games here, and the players absolutely just hate it. So they were really upset and moaning.
I can understand,
sure,
visibility-wise.
Dadgum right.
I think they should start them all at 5. Looping fly ball to center field. And Bradley has it. He'll get it back in, so there's 1 out. Now, this is ideal visibility for any pitcher. If you've got decent stuff and this kind of visibility, it should be a fast, it should be a low scoring game, and it should really aid you if you make a mistake. But neither Lester nor Quintana have made too many mistakes here today.
Well, when it moves out there another 10-12 feet, it's really going to be bad on the hitter.
And Ramirez, 1 for 2. He doubled down the line in the 4th inning and hit the bag and rolled into the corner. Short lead at first by Abreu. And that fastball misses on the outside corner. John Lester, drafted in the 2nd round of 2002. So he came up through the Red Sox system, a system that was very productive for quite some time and is back being productive. A lot of their players now very young, very promising, but still got a ways to go yet as that one catches the inside corner.
Well, Lester's been through a lot in his career and his life. Diagnosed with non-Hodgkin lymphoma back in August of 2006. Beat that, came back, and to become the pitcher he is today.
He went on the disabled list, recovering from that in 2006 and 7. So despite the fact that he was on the disabled list, recovering from the treatments from March until June 10th, he still pitched in the World Series that year and still was a huge contributor to Boston winning it all. He went 4-0 that year in his 11 starts for the Red Sox.
And he pitched a no-hitter in May of 2008.
Back up the middle, base hit. So Bradley will get to the ball quickly, and that'll hold Abreu at second base. So promising inning, 2 on, only 1 out. And Alexi now 2 for 3. So that ball up in the zone. Lester making a couple of mistakes here in the 6th inning. And that'll send Ross to the mound to talk with Lester. John Farrell has said all the right things for this ball club, coming off A World Series win in his first year of managing. This will be his 4th year overall. He managed 2 years at Toronto. They wanted him here in Boston. They went, they made a deal. They brought him here, a place where he was a pitching coach. And they've got a pretty good one. He's got a chance to be a good manager for a long time. As Paul Konerko steps in, and he's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a ground out in his 2 at bats. And a soft breaking ball catches the outside corner. Bradley's got a very good arm in center field. In fact, so good that he has 10 outfield assists, and that's tied for the major league lead. So on a ball hit hard in the center field, it's going to be a challenge for Abreu to score.
Well, those 10 assists will also tell you he's hitting the cutoff man.
He seems to understand how to play this game and how to do it correctly. See, he's tied for most in the AL. And bear in mind that he did not start the season as the everyday center fielder. However, he has played in this his 82nd game. And that fouled off. And it's an 0-2 count. Paul, career-wise, has great numbers against John Lester. Just reaches out and fouls it, protecting the plate.
Jose at second base had a chance with 2 home runs today to tie Rudy York for the fastest in history to reach 30. Rudy York. A lot of Native American blood.
Throw to first base, and Abreu going to third. He's in there. Heads up base running by Jose. As soon as he saw David Ross turn and start to set up and throw to first base, he never hesitated. So you don't have to be blazing fast to be a good base runner. Now take a look at what he does. Right there, he takes off, and Mike Napoli throws it up. Jose slides under the tag of Holt. And he's at third base now, where a fly ball is able to score him.
Well, you're talking about Bradley knowing how to play the game of baseball. That man standing on third base knows how to play the game of baseball too. Somebody taught him well.
It was one of the more heads up play you'll see. They had no chance to get Alexei at first. And as it turned out, it would have taken a perfect throw right on the bag to get Jose at third, and they didn't do it.
Well, it'd be fitting for a wild pitch right here.
There goes Alexei. And Paul goes down on strike, so Ramirez will pick up a stolen base. And that's the 11th strikeout for Lester.
And 15th stolen base and 18 attempts for Alexei.
Moises Sierra, who's 1 for 2, he stole the base in the second inning. That was his first of the year, first in a White Sox uniform. And the outfield playing straight away. Mookie Betts very shallow in right field. Throws that fastball in on his hands. And that's been the big difference in John Lester these last few years. The fact that he is not afraid to go in. He was always arm side strong, meaning inside the left-handers, away to right-handers. But he's taught himself to get the ball into the right-handers, especially in this park. That one just misses off the outside corner. He looks in at Marvin Hudson, but that ball did miss. And the count evens at 1-1. This here with runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Moises still looking for his first hit. He is 0 for 14 in this situation. Lifted to the right side. Napoli over. And he makes the catch. And so Lester is able to navigate his way out of the 6th inning. It'll head to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 1-0. Central, presented by AT&T U-verse. We'll have more on today's final fan vote, and we'll tell you where all the big-name NBA free agents are headed. See all that and more on Sportsnet Central tonight after White Sox postgame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
It'll be the lower third of the order for the Carmines here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll be Drew, Ross, and Bradley to face our Jose Quintana. Drew, a strikeout victim. Jose with 6 strikeouts. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for us. No runs, no hits, no errors for them. As Drew takes ball 1. Sox will conclude this game, this series. Head on over to Cleveland. That's foul. Tomorrow night, that game will be over Comcast Sportsnet Plus. Hector Noesi against the tough right-hander Corey Kluber. On Saturday afternoon, that game on Comcast Sportsnet. Scott Carroll, who was just magnificent in the opener of this series against Zach McAllister. And the final game before the All-Star break on Sunday, Johnny Danks against Trevor Bauer. And that game will be over WGN. Three and one.
And it was Stephen Drew that broke up Jake Arrieta's no-hitter in his bid. As the Cubs swept the Red Sox in his ballpark, he broke that up in the 8th inning.
Full count.
We see a lot of goose eggs after that run-scoring double by Abreu in the 1st inning.
Foul tipped, could not hang on to it. So the count hangs 3 balls, 2 strikes. Outfield spread out for the most part straight up. And once once again the payoff pitch. And there is their first base runner, the dreaded leadoff walk.
Well, unfortunately, this was a good call by Marvin Hudson, as this ball is off the outside corner. And Drew is aboard.
So we'll see how Quintana's going to handle the stretch after working 5 perfect innings. Ross popped up to Gordon Beckham. Takes that one low and away. Well,
I like the fact that Tyler's going out there, because you lose a perfect game, he still has a no-hitter intact, but there's a little air that comes out of the balloon after the walk, and he has missed a couple of pitches to Ross, who does have some big power. You got to be careful with him.
And also, if you're just tuning in, did not hear, Chris Sale is going to the All-Star game. Thanks to our White Sox fans, and thanks to the effort of our whole administrative staff, interns, everybody who worked so hard to get in there. There's the strike. Chris, the 4th White Sox player to win the All-Star Game MLBP final vote. That is a record and a tribute to Sox fans. That's low.
Been quite a year for Chris Sale. 3rd straight All-Star selection. That's pretty impressive. And you look at the numbers, he deserves to be there. An ERA of 2.08. 14 starts with an 8-1 record that could have easily been probably 11-1.
Ball hit hard, but just foul. Thank you very much.
That one hits and then kicks well wide of the bag. Ross is yet to ground into a double play this year. That's been in 103 at bats. Be a nice time for his first.
That's a pretty good pitch. Didn't get it. Could have gone either way, and it went Boston's way.
On the pitch tracks. And that's 2 walks and 2 aboard. And nobody out here in the 6th.
So here's Bradley. He went out to Viciato in left field. And Coop is hot at Marvin Hudson.
Well, he's saying it was a strike all day, and now suddenly it's not a strike.
And he would be right in saying that, because it has been a strike all day. So the corner's in close. Leury on the grass. Abreu almost, well, right now he's almost even with a bag. So he breaks it down early and takes the breaking ball for a ball. So the stretch is not working real good for Quintana.
Happens a lot the first time you move into the stretch, especially if it's a little later in the game. And Bradley does have one sacrifice this year.
And he's behind him 2-0.
Let's see Don Cooper maybe come out and have a word with Quintana, because he just does not look the same. Quite obviously the first inning where he's had any difficulties whatsoever. That wasn't particularly good technique as Bradley jabs at it. The object is to catch the ball with the bat. And he didn't do it real well.
And the best way to catch it with the bat is get the bat out there and then give as you're trying to catch it with the bat. Oh boy, Lexi. 2-2 the count. See how the head is back. Get the head of the bat out in front of the plate, and then as the pitch comes, you give with it. Two-two pitch.
Bradley this year with runners in scoring position, despite being as young as he is hitting .283. So he's done a nice job in situations like this.
Once again, the 2-2. Not even close. So another 4 count. Big pitch right here. Huge pitch right here. And there's the base hit. He's being waved down. He'll score in this game. Is tied at 1. They still have 2 on, nobody out.
I'll be at 25, and Don Cooper now comes out. That fastball up and on the inside part of the plate, and Bradley getting a chance to play just about every day now. Ties it up.
Didn't hit it hard, but he found the right hole.
Bradley 6 for 6 in stolen bases, but this Red Sox team has been very slow. 29 stolen bases. They've been caught 19 times. This is not a team that will try to run you out of the park. But one of their speed burners is at first base, where he can score on a double.
So Ross at second, Bradley at first, and here's Brock Holt. He has gone out to left and he has struck out. Corners in close.
Holt has a sacrifice this year.
Yeah, he broke it down.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for his second. And just like Bradley was trying to do, he wants to bunt it right at Leary at third. Leary went through his set of signs. What usually happens is third baseman will look in the dugout. The manager usually tells him how he wants to defend this play, this possible bunt, and it determines whether the pitcher is going to charge straight in or toward the third base line if Garcia goes back to the third base bag.
Or the wheel play, which was on. Looks like Alexei may have missed it.
I'm kind of thinking he did because Leary didn't charge. Normally when the shortstop breaks to third, the third baseman will charge straight in. I mean, really aggressively charge in.
The 1-0. There's a strike to even the count. 1-7-0 for us, 1-1-0 for them here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Just tuning in, they did not have a base runner prior to Drew leading off this inning with a walk. Then he walked Ross. Then a soft single by Bradley in the hole between first and second. Still nobody out. Two and one. Pedroia on deck and Ortiz in the hole. So they take it off. Flip flop it and the count 2-2.
With runners in scoring position, Brock Holt has been unbelievably good.
Two pitch. Goes. They can't get him, but they get Holt at first. And that's 1 out.
It's the equivalent of a sacrifice bunt. And with the speed of Bradley, it's going to be a very difficult play. Now, Alexi knows he's got to put the tag on, but even with a good throw, I'm not sure they get it.
Abreu made the right play. He rolled the dice right there.
Yeah, he thought he might have had a chance at him, and what Bradley did was he took the inside route, making it a little more difficult for Abreu to make a throw because he had to throw it wide of the bag, and that allowed him to get in easily.
Well, the runner knows where the first baseman is. He knows where the ball's hit, and you try to get in the way, so hopefully you'll get hit in the back. Pedroia takes first pitch strike. He has struck out and lined hard to left field. Yes, he did. And the count 0-2.
Troy looked back at Marvin Hudson as if to say he didn't go. He went well too far there. That's going to get called 100% of the time.
If you can go hard high, you better go hard way high. And that's going foul. Slow low.
Pedroia with 4 sacrifice flies this year. That puts him 1 behind Johnny Gomes for the team lead in that department.
And once again, the 0-2. The Orioles going to look him back. And that's a big out, 2 down. Now Robbins got a decision right here. Big Poppy's been to the plate twice. Flied to center field. Then he flied deep to right center field. A spectacular catch by Adam Eaton. Napoli on deck. Been to the plate twice and struck out twice.
In the meantime, that was a terrific pitch by Jose Quintana. He threw it well up and in, and he couldn't do anything with it. Couldn't bring his hands in and couldn't get anything into the swing.
So now 1 in, Ducks on the pond, 2 out. And second base umpire Jim Joyce was moving, so Ortiz steps out.
"90 pitches overall, the 30th of this inning. Last time up, a spectacular catch by Adam Eaton robs Big Poppy. This is at least 2. He got a great break, and Big Poppy has been robbed consistently in this series by Eaton. It's robbed again.
Yeah, it's either been Beckham or Eaton. He did not get it. When you're trying to get in this scenario situation, you got to be careful and you got to trust your catcher. And you're going to go low and away.
Doug Eddings was getting a little chatter from the dugout on that swing that wasn't called.
That was a big call right there.
Big Papi got away with one.
Big call. Three and one to count.
This guy hitting .355 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. He is the one guy in this lineup that you can't allow to beat you.
That's going to score a pair.
I have a hard time understanding that, but
now we set it up. Big Papi has hit the ball hard. Napoli has struck out twice, so they rolled the dice and lost.
RBI's 57 and 58. You got the best hitter on their ball club, the hottest hitter on their ball club, the most productive hitter on their ball club, and with a 3-1 count, you give him a pitch that he can drive.
So here's Napoli. Struck out in the second, struck out in the fifth. Count 0-2.
Nice stop by Tyler as he drops down and smothers that one.
2 leadoff walks. RBI single, gets 2 big outs, and then a double by Ortiz. They score 3 and they lead it 3-1. So visit Athletico.com and start defining your pain-free inner athlete today. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of our White Sox. Athletico, better for everybody. Top of the 7th inning and a 3-1 Red Sox lead. It'll be Flowers, Garcia, and Eaton. Tyler is struck out and grounded to third. We have 1 run on 7 hits. They have 3 runs on 2 hits. First pitch strike. High pop up. Mechanical.
Lester's only had 1 clean inning, that coming in the 3rd, yet he's fanned 11. So he's had terrific control. Got him looking on the fastball, using that slow curve unbelievably well this afternoon. And pitched out of a tough jam last inning with 2 on, 1 out. Striking out Konerko and getting Moises Sierra to pop out. There you look at some pretty impressive numbers. No walks, 11 Ks.
Leary has grounded to third and he has struck out. That's foul. Now he's down in the count, of ball and 2 strikes.
Pretty good idea with Holt back at third. Only he bunted through it.
Strikeouts.
His season high and his career high came back on May 3rd against Oakland. He had 15 strikeouts. He's within 3 of that number. And a lot of them have been on this slow, tantalizing curveball that he always keeps down. Third game with 12+ strikeouts.
He's going to get a lot of them with that slow curveball. And he hadn't hung a curveball in this game. Adam is 2 for 3, and he scored our first run and only run. That was in the first inning. Only out he made was a line shot to Gomes and left.
Was pitch number 102 for Lester. When you strike out a lot of guys and you give up 7 hits, you're going to throw a lot of pitches. But so far, at least, we haven't seen a fall off in stuff.
One ball, 2 strikes.
He has gotten up to 122 pitches this year. That's his season high. Sox bullpen up and going, and it's Junichi Tazawa. We've seen him once in the series. He was pretty good.
Pokes it left side. Drew, nice play. So 1, 2, 3 innings, 7th inning stretch. 3-1 Red Sox. Your name and lights at U.S. Cellular Field in an upcoming game. You can wish someone a happy anniversary, happy birthday, congratulations, and much more. All proceeds benefit White Sox charity. So visit whitesox.com/scoreboard.
Johnny Gomes today looks like he's been on a couple of pitches. Doesn't have much of anything to show for it. But he's usually very dangerous against left-hand pitchers.
He is lined to right. Just missed one as he did right there to left. So he is 0 for 3. And that'll bring up Mookie Betts. Betts has struck out, called out, and grounded to second. That evens the count at 1. Three runs, just 2 hits, no errors for them. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for us. Quintana's walked 2. That was back-to-back walks leading off the 6th, and both of them scored. Full count.
Daniel Webb loosening up in the bullpen.
That's in center field. So 2 down. Here's Drew, who led that 6th inning off with that leadoff walk. Breaking ball strike. Oh, and 2. Takes that one. And we're still leading the major leagues in walks. In fact, by a wide margin. Mets in 2nd place, and we have 27 more than they do. We have a total of 342 walks. And that's going foul.
.110 for Jose today. He had a perfect game through 5 innings. And at the time, a 1-0 lead. Had some problems in the 6th. And it's a 2-run deficit.
There you go. He knew it. 7 strikeouts. And we're into the 8th. Millions of players now on the only official home run derby mobile game from MLB.com. Square off against your friends from around the world. Live in multiplayer derby mode. Climb to the top of the leaderboards. Download today for free on the Apple App Store and Google Play. Junichi Tazawa, the new pitcher, as he is on for the 42nd time. So a tremendous job by John Lester, and what new? He's a tremendous pitcher. 7 innings, 1 run, coming in the 1st inning. Leadoff single by Eaton. He struck out Beckham, and then an RBI double by Abreu. We did have another threat in the 6th with 2 men on. Couldn't do anything with it. Lester, 7 innings, 1 run, 6 hits, no walks, and 12 strikeouts.
And now we've got Junichi Tazawa. He's a mighty tough right-hander.
7 hits.
They form quite a duo, Tazawa and Uehara. Uehara, who was named to the All-Star team when Tanaka went on the disabled list, has a 1.27 ERA this year and 18 saves. Tazawa is their premier setup man.
Here's Gordon. Gordon's had a tough afternoon against Lester. 0 for 3 with 3 punch-outs. Takes first pitch strike.
Tazawa's got a much better fastball than Uehara, but not near the splitter. It's good, it's just not great.
Tazawa, one of those guys that'll throw the glove at you.
Love that little hesitation that he goes into and looks like he's going to come through, but he hesitates a touch. Probably disrupt the hitter's timing somewhat. And the bullpen with Andrew Miller, the hard-throwing left-hander, getting ready, and he's their specialist from that side.
Well, they've got the best. When you're talking about offense, defense, hitting, pitching, they got the best department in that bullpen. They're 5th best in the league with a 3.38.
And the back end of the bullpen is especially tough. They got 2 premier setup men and one of the league's best closers.
So Gordon now 0 for 9 lifetime off Tazawa. 1 out. Here's Abreu. RBI double, a strikeout, and a soft single into right. Takes that curveball strike. A lot of hitters don't like it at all when the pitcher will throw his glove at you.
I'll give you something else to look at before the ball gets there.
Well, when you get a guy with a motion that's funky like his is, and most Orioles are, you've got to get past the motion, and the best way to do it is just focus. Don't even look at them. Look at where you think the ball is going to be released from.
One of the guys who consistently threw his glove at you probably didn't have to because of his overwhelming stuff in his Hall of Fame career was Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer threw the glove at you first before coming through, and he came right over the top. And he just had amazing stuff.
Well, he was a high fastball curveball pitcher. 8-time 20-game winner, so that's enough said. One of the greatest that ever lived. Not many guys can claim 8 20-game seasons.
Nope.
As he gets him, 2 down. Well, you know, and the thing about it is, you look at the strikeout again. The motion right there, but Palmer was, to show you how good his stuff was, he was what you call a comfortable 0 for 4. He threw hard. He didn't have to worry about the inside pitch.
Well, he didn't throw at you.
He didn't throw at guys. And so you go up there and you felt comfortable at the plate, but you were 0 for 4.
And he hits, yeah.
Most of the time you put that comfortable 0 for 4 moniker on somebody, they're a soft tosser. Like a Mark Burley. Mark Burley's a comfortable 0 for 4. Tank turns it loose. Tank 0 for 3 today. But this guy, Uehara, he'll throw his glove at you a little more than Tazawa.
Well, it's a great combination. Deception along with great stuff.
Well, if you get that, you get yourself a star. You get yourself a number one. But if you just have deception, you don't have to have great stuff to be a winner. Some of the greatest pitchers in Cooperstown were guys that had great deception.
Juan Nieves and John Farrell. Quite a duo here in Boston.
Yeah, they don't have any speed this year. They don't have any hitting, and they have not had any defense. So starting pitching's been pretty good. The bullpen's been real good.
Makes for a tough year.
Yeah, it does. Especially when you're the defending world champion. Two out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the top of the 8th inning in a 3-1 Red Sox lead. So Ross throws him out. 1-2-3 inning with a couple of strikeouts, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th.
And we got Daniel Webb coming into the ball game. So Quintana went 7, gave up 3 runs on only 2 hits, 2 walks, very costly in that 6th, and 7 strikeouts. So he threw well, but he's on the downside of this one as Daniel Webb comes in at 4-2. His ERA 3.38. He faces the bottom part of the order. Ross and Bradley before they swing back to the top with Holt, and if anybody gets on Pedroia.
David Ross 0 for 1 with a huge walk coming back in the 6th inning. That was a huge walk because Stephen Drew led off the inning with a walk. Prior to that, Quintana had retired the first 15 that he had seen. And there's ball one. There's the strike one.
And there is a look at their closer, Koji Uehara. And he is a dandy. Going to the All-Star game, well deserved.
Well, he was just unhittable last year.
Hasn't been too hittable this year.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, and he just didn't stop. He's continued it on.
25 hits and 42 2/3, 55 strikeouts and 6 walks in 42 2/3.
Now, you're talking about getting the most out of emotion. He's got a good splitter, very good splitter, and he doesn't miss with it too often. Yes. Here you go. 1 out.
As we promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game. So remember, you can tweet your photo. You can tweet your photo to hashtag Chicago Fan Photo for a chance to be shown on our broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. There's a couple of very happy Sox fans.
And once again, if you're just getting home and tuning in, Chris Sale is going to the All-Star game. And thanks to all of you out there, he won out in the final vote for the last spot on the American League All-Star team.
What a play by Liuri.
And you're talking about a hang woofle for Jackie Bradley Jr. There is a hang woofle. Watch this.
He was bidding for his second hit, and he hits it right at Liuri's face. Fortunately, he gets a glove up. He's in thinking about taking away the bunt, and he almost got a face burger for his efforts.
Brock Holt takes ball one. Brock has gone out to left, struck out, and grounded to first. One and one to count. Chopper comes in, makes his own hop. So a nice inning right there for Daniel Webb. Meanwhile, we're into the ninth. We need 2 to tie.
Miller Time brought to you by Miller Lite. And what else? David Ortiz on a 3-1 count. Takes one in the gap. Drives in two, his 57th and 58th. That's made the difference in this one. It's a 3-1 game, courtesy of Big Poppy. And Koji Urahara in the game, on for the 42nd time, 5-2 with an ERA you can hardly notice at 127. Been successful, 18 of 19 save opportunities. Talked about the 25 hits and 42 2/3, 55 Ks, 6 walks. But he has allowed 5 home runs.
So, Alexei, Konerko, Sierra, the scheduled hitters here in the top of the ninth as we trail it 3-1. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for them. 1 run, 7 hits, no errors for us. When you get a game pitch like Chris Sale did, and you get a game pitch like Quintana did, you should win both those games. But that's not the case.
Well, he just got him, and that was an instance where Napoli did not know where Pedroia was. That happens so often. When a first baseman rages that far off the bat, and I mean, he went way off the bag. Well, it's a pretty tough play, and it looks like Ramirez beat him at first base.
It looked like it in real time. Let's see another.
Corey Blazer calling him out. Let's see again.
This could be a big review here.
Well, it's going to be hard for definitive proof.
I don't know. Real time, it looked like he beat it.
Yep, let's watch it. We'll slow it down for you.
Well, that's just not a good play by Napoli.
No, he just went way wide of the bag. Had he gone back and allowed Pedroia to take it, well, they would have made the play a whole lot easier.
He's safe. Now, whether they will rule it or not is a different story. Very similar to that Galarraga play.
Well, if you slow it down to there, it looks quite possibly like Uehara's foot might have been up with Alexei's foot on the inside of the bag. But you have to have definitive proof to overrule the call. And we'll have to wait what they see in New York. This is a huge call.
It could be. Safe. So we have the leadoff man aboard.
That's the third hit by Alexei, and Napoli made it possible. So Uehara, who's given up just 6 runs all year, and only 1 that wasn't via the home run.
Well, you mentioned it. He's thrown 5 of them. So
5.
So here's Paulie. Paulie is Faced him 6 times, has a couple of hits. Takes ball 1.
Connor Gillespie in the on-deck circle. You got Adam Dunn, who's not swung a bat yet. We've got some left-handed thumpers.
Takes ball 2.
And there's Connor.
Takes ball 3. Don't help him out. Take 2. There's 1.
That one was certainly borderline.
Well, Marvin had a big non-call on a pitch to Ross that would have struck him out. A big non-call on a check swing by Ortiz.
That's his changeup, and that's a dandy.
Very similar to the pitch that he called a ball on Ross.
And here comes Connor Gillespie. He's coming on to pinch hit for Moises Sierra. Connor hitting .320. 2 for 2 as a pinch hitter this year with a run driven in.
Moises was 1 for 3 with a stolen base.
Adam Dunn is in the on-deck circle. Last night, Connor hit his 3rd home run of the year. Took it into the center field seats. That coming in the 2nd inning.
One ball, no strikes. Stay fair. Stay fair. It will. You can put it on the board. Yes. And this game is tied at 3. Yes.
Fourth home run of the year for Gillespie. And the 6th given up by Uehara. So he does indeed blow his 2nd save of the year as Connor comes up and wraps it around the pole for the 2nd time in the series. His 3rd home run of the series. And that'll extend this one.
Pesky's pole. And here is Tyler. He's 0 for 3. Takes strike one. So a big review and overcall at first base. So that'll get Quintana off the hook for a change.
Another no decision. What a surprise. But this is a good no D.
And that's out of play right side. 37,547, and they are very, very quiet. Outfield slightly to the right. Got him, and he knew it. There's 16 strikeouts for Boston pitching today. If you're just tuning in, Lester had 12 in 7 innings. Tazawa had 2, and that's the second one for Uehara.
It's going to be the heart of the order due up for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 9th. So another run here wouldn't be a bad idea. And a couple of times this year we've seen Leury put a charge into one, notably in Dodger Stadium from the left side, taking it over the center field fence, which is a very good trick for a night game.
He was trying to put one on the board.
Connor's had a pretty strong run at it recently.
He was swinging it well before he got drilled in the knee, and he's even swinging it better now. That's up high, 1-1 to count. Connor 6 for 9 in this series. As that's popped up, but the pinch hit, 2-run homer by Gillespie, and we will go to the bottom of the 9th, tied at 3.
White Sox post-game live presented by Subaru. Get the recap on tonight's game and all the action around the league, and don't miss White Sox post-game live tonight, right after the game on Comcast Sportsnet.
Pedroia, Ortiz, and Napoli. Pedroia, 0 for 3.
Leary goes to right field as Connor Gillespie stays in the game to play third.
Pedroia struck out, lined hard to left, and grounded to third.
Tough sun field right now for Leary and Wright.
One of the worst in all of baseball. Two and 0 the count. As I said earlier, this club, our club, will not quit.
It's Surkamp and Belisario throwing in the pen.
Outfield, straight up, spread out. Count evens at 2 to Pedroia.
It's 2-2 count, and all 4 pitches have been out of the zone. That ball way inside, but Pedroia trying to end it with one swing has really expanded his strike zone and done Daniel a favor.
Little man will get in a swing mode and he will absolutely just turn it loose.
5 pitches all out of the zone. As you can see, nary a strike. Yet, it's 2-2.
And that's into right field. Now he picks it up. He played that ball perfectly. Watch him hesitate, get that angle. Now he's got it. If you get there too quick a lot of times, as Robin comes out, if you get there too quick a lot of times, you're looking right at that sun. So, good inning and a third for Webb. He departs. Surkamp comes on, and we'll be back.
Toughest hitter, David Ortiz. Got a 4.50 ERA, no record on for the 8th time. 4 innings, only given up 1 hit. Fan 3, walk 3. And left-handers have not touched him up for a hit yet. Gunnar comes in to have a word with Eric
as they put the shift on.
Probably telling him, if you let him hit the ball to the left side, I'm the only guy here, so have him hit it at me.
Ortiz 1 for 3 of that big 2-run double with 2 out in the 6th inning to make it a 3-1 Red Sox lead and a 3-1 count. Helps him out right there. Swings at ball 2, so the count 1-1. Oh, if he stays right there, wow. Tantalizing. 1-2.
Still has not thrown the ball in the zone, but he's up in the count.
Yeah. Well, Big Papi, like Pedroia, he's trying to end it with 1 swing as well. A lot of times, as you well know, you take the situation, you take the hitter, and you anticipate and sometimes let his anxiety work for you.
It's going to be another breaking ball.
There's a 2-hopper, and that's 2 out.
He came on to get David Ortiz, and get him he did. With all pitches out of the zone. Staying down there, you're going to keep in the ballpark, and in this case, 3 unassisted, so 2 outs here in the 9th. And Eric got the job done, so he'll depart. We'll step out and be back after these messages. .5, his ERA just over 5 on for the 38th time. He pitched Tuesday night in relief of Johnny Danks. It was one of his most impressive outings of the year. He went 3 1/3, gave up just 1 hit, struck out 2. That was it. No runs, no walks. And he's going to face Napoli with a succession of Napoli, Gomes, and Betts, 3 right-handers for these Red Sox. With 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Napoli 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a soft grounder to third. And Mike has faced Bella 4 times, and he has a couple of hits. So he takes ball 1.
Connor Gillespie very deep at third and right on the line.
Right where he should be. Two and 0.
And conversely, Viciedo in left, well off the line, taking away, or taking away the alley.
Napoli looking for it, got it, and fouls it off right side. Connor's got him. And that'll retire the side. We'll go to the extra innings. Will be the top of the order for us. Eaton, Beckham, and Abreu. Extra innings are presented by Jack Link's Beef Jerky all season long. Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side.
Top of the 10th inning, and we got a tough left-hander to face in Andrew Miller. He's 2-5 this year, but his ERA 2.34 on for the 42nd time, so he's been a busy man. There you look at the numbers. 57 strikeouts in 34 2/3 innings. Left-handers, not doing much with them. Right-handers, not exactly tearing the cover off the ball. Former #1 pick by the Detroit Tigers before being involved in that huge trade to the Florida Marlins, bringing Miguel Cabrera and Dontrell Willis to the Tigers.
So here we go, top of the order. Adam Eaton. Adam is 2 for 4 today and has swung the bat very well. His first out was a hard liner to left field, and his second out was a soft roller to short that Drew made a heck of a play to get him. Fakes the bunt, takes the ball. 3 runs, 9 hits, no errors for us. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for them, and an oddity in this game. Here we are in the 10th inning. And for the Red Sox, in their first 9 innings, there were 8 1-2-3 innings.
They got 2 hits.
8. The first was 1-2-3, second, third, fourth, fifth, 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Pretty amazing.
It is. He did not go.
Miller, a big man at 6'7", 210 pounds. Last year, only 37 games, he had a broken foot.
There they chopper up the middle into center field. I'll tell you, Adam Eaton's getting to be my hero. I love watching that little guy play.
It's tough to stand in against Miller. I mean, this is one of the tougher left-handers around who throws across his body, and Adam stays right there. Takes it right back up the middle, representing the go-ahead run with nobody out here in the 10th.
One thing, he might be short on height, but he's not short on stones.
He's just a good player. I mean, defensively, he's had a couple of weeks where he's turned games around with his glove.
Gordon, a tough day today. 0 for 4, 3 strikeouts, and he's faced Miller 3 times and has 1 hit. We're just not picking up the ball. You get some parks that you just. It's tough seeing, tough picking it up.
Well, there's a lot of people out there who would say in this situation, why isn't Gordon bunting? The answer to that would be, if he does bunt, if he's successful, you take the bat right out of Abreu's hands, and you don't want to take the bat out of Abreu's hands.
Take the bunt there. And count 2-1. So Gordon in this series now, 1 for 17. That'll tell you he's not picking the ball up. But for me, I would bunt him. And you know, as you say, they're going to walk Abreu, but I'd rather have men on first and second with 1 out. Viciato and Alexi coming up and take the dice with them.
Well, Gordon has 1 sacrifice this year, and when you know a guy's tempting to bunt, you throw high fastballs.
Tough to bunt. There's a good one that's going to get the job done. Sort of one. All right, so the sacrifice. 1-4.
That time Miller made a mistake because he threw a low fastball, and Gordon was able to record his second sacrifice.
So here's Abreu. El Hombre. And they're going to put him on. 2 for 4 today. And he is 8 for 12 in this series. Tank on deck. And Alexei in the hole.
That time Miller almost threw it over Ross's head.
We had a guy here with us. I can't remember his name. Dadgummit. Long time ago. He couldn't intentionally walk somebody. He was going to throw a wild pitch.
Cubs had a guy who 2 times in a row, on situations where he was going to walk a guy, he threw wild pitches and the run scored 2 times in a row. His name was Eddie King Solomon.
I remember him.
Remember King Solomon?
So here we go. 1 out, 2 on. And we got 2 pops. Hopefully he stays out of the double play, and he's due. Tank is due. Takes a strike. He's been swinging about well, but he's 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. And of course, it was coming against Lester and then Tazawa.
Very good speed out at second.
Oh, good play by Ross right there. Throw it away one time.
Say if Miller throws it to the backstop here, that is a huge break. He's got 2 wild pitches this year.
One out, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 on. Off the end of the bat, get by him. Oh, good play by Miller. Good play by Miller. If he gets by him, we're going to have the bases loaded. So here comes Alexei.
Squibbed off the end of the bat. And it helps to be 6-7 if you're going to do that. Because he just lays out his only play to first, and he makes it.
Alexei, 3 for 4 today. The double, 2 singles, one of them infield. And he scored ahead of Gillespie's 2-run homer in the top of the 9th to tie this thing at 3. So Ducks on the pond with 2 down. Konerko on deck.
Adams got to come down the line aggressively. Anything that gets away even a little distance, you're going.
Yeah, this is one of those plays. If you got the good speed like he does at third, and you got to come down that line a lot, and then you got to be ready to get back in a hurry. There's the strike. Big pitch right here, the 1-1. And there's a little soft comebacker. So he pitches out of it. And we'll go to the bottom of the 10th. And this is the 7th extra inning game for us. The first 6 were 2 and 4. We played 2 on the road and we're 1 and 1. This is the 14th extra inning game for Boston. They're 5 and 8 in the first 13, and they have played 7 here at Fenway, and they are 3 and 4.
Daniel Nava comes on a pinch hit. Nava a switch hitter, but doesn't see much action as a right-hand hitter. He's hitting .097. As a left-hand hitter, hitting .258. And he's 2 for 6 with 3 driven in as a pinch hitter. 1 for 1 with a run driven in this series as a pinch hitter.
Well, he pinch hit last night, had an RBI double. And he takes first pitch strike. Three 10-0 for us, 3-2-0 for them. 2 hits they've had in this ball game. A single by Bradley and a double by Ortiz. Eight out of 9, 1, 2, 3 innings. They've only stranded in this game 1 runner. Quintana pitched well, perfect through 5. Then in the 6th, he walked Drew, he walked Ross. Both of them came around and scored. Count evens at 2. Good rip by Nava.
Good pitch by Belisario. He threw a good slider. Nava was fortunate to be able to fight it off. See where Tyler wants it. That ball heading right there. He spoiled a good pitch. Mookie Betts in the on-deck circle.
Nava last year hit .303, 12 homers, and drove in 66. He's dangerous. This year off to a slow start offensively. As a full count.
Just about everything happened right for the Red Sox last year. The longest losing streak was 3 games. And that's absolutely amazing. That was a real good
strike,
pitch.
and that's just another bad call right there. Marvin is a good umpire, and he has missed some critical pitches tonight.
This one hit most of the plate. Now it might have sunk after it crossed the plate. That one crossed the plate right in the middle of that front knee.
Well, the big thing, he's been calling it all night. Now he's missed 2 on us. Did he call for ball 4? And one of them is the reason we're still playing.
Robin is a little hot.
I don't blame him. That's terrible. I don't blame Robin one iota. That's just a terrible call. Ties the bunny and almost got him in the hand. 0-1.
Mookie does not have a sacrifice this year. Robin doesn't have great speed, although he swiped a couple of bases in 3 attempts.
That'll get the job done. Sacrifice 3-4. That'll bring up Stephen Drew.
Pretty good bunt for your first major league sacrifice, because he forced Jose to make this play, and he got the winning run to second base.
Robin is liable to get run right here.
Well, he's going to wait, certainly, I believe, for Marvin Hudson to come to the mound to break this up. Because with nobody up in the pen, there isn't a whole lot of reason to be there except to express your displeasure to Marvin Hudson.
So he tells Marvin what he thinks. And here we go. They're going to put him on.
They got Mike Karp hitting from the left side. At this point, he might be their best option.
One out, 2 on. And here comes Carp. He's been on deck. Carp's one of those guys that's dangerous. He pinched it last night, grounded out 3-1. Even though the numbers are not good, he is still dangerous as there's a strike.
He's coming back from a broken foot. He's 1 for 12 as a pinch hitter.
Close pitch, didn't get it. Bella on top of ball and 2 strikes. Two and two. You're just tuning in. We scored 1 in the first. They scored 3 in the 6th. We scored 2 in the top of the 9th on a pinch hit home run by Connor Gillespie. And there's a base hit. And the man that he had struck out and he walked him scores. And we lose this ball game 4-3. There were 3 critical calls in this game that went against us that we did not get. That absolutely killed us. 2 of them scored. We had 2 other guys struck out. Hudson missed them. They walked, and they came around to score. The last one was the winner. So let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is Mike Karp, our GMC professional grade player of the game. So for my partner Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Todd Benjaminson, our associate producer Dave Ross. Boy, I tell you, I wish I could cuss right now. Our technical manager Mark Harper, the mayor Mean Joe Groove, also the executive producer Jim Corno Jr. And for Mike Pomeroy, John Upton, Melanie Edie, Paul Darling, and my good buddy and great guy Fred Ferris. This is the Hawk Song, everybody. Coming up next, Subaru Post Game Live with Chuck and Bill. You've been watching White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet.